You are enjoying the evolution of your own desire? The answer is yes. You are appreciating the glorious contrast that makes your desire possible? We always ask that question so that we can take your vibrational temperature to see how close your words are with your vibration. And it seems that the greater the contrast, the more your yes word does not match your true vibration. It's easier to say yes to contrast when there isn't much. But when there is more contrast, then it seems that it is easier for you to desire a controlling somehow of the contrast, a controlling somehow of the circumstances. Because after all, when you look out into a set of circumstances that is pleasing to you, it is easy to feel good. And when you look out into a set of circumstances that is not so pleasing, then you have to do some work. You have to be more selective in the way you approach things. You have to be more deliberate in the way you apply your focus. You have to reach for thoughts that feel good deliberately. It's sort of like going to a food buffet. You just don't put any old thing on your plate. You are a little bit particular about what you put on your plate. And the same thing is true of this buffet of contrast in which you are focused. Now, we acknowledge that a buffet of food that has only those things you like, just one good thing after another, delicious choice after delicious choice after delicious choice, is a comforting thing for you because you do not need to use your power of discrimination. In fact, it would be nice if all buffets were that way. It would be nice if you never had to pay attention to the restaurant that you choose again. It would be lovely if every time you walk through the door of any restaurant, you are absolutely certain that what is set before you will please you, so that you don't have to make any decisions about where you go. You don't have to be deliberate about any of your choices. You just go knowing that you will be pleased. And yet, you don't seem too upset about knowing that there are restaurants that please you and restaurants that don't please you, and menu items within them that please you and menu items within them that don't please you. And so you have learned to be discerning about what you eat. And that's really all we ask of you about what you think. It is the same sort of discernment. But when it comes to contrast of the world events, or even events within your own city or your own house, it is an interesting thing as we watch you, because almost without exception, you want to control those circumstances so that when you look at the circumstances, you will feel better. And what we are wanting you to come round to understanding is that you do not need to ever control any circumstances, and in fact, your reach or ability to do that is rather limited. You don't need to do it anyway, because you have the ability to choose something from the buffet of contrast, focus upon it long enough that it begins to resonate within you, and practice focusing in areas like that that feel good to you so often in such a deliberate manner that you assign to yourself, by deliberate control, a vibrational output, sort of like setting your tuner. And then, as you move through life experience, law of attraction will match you up only with things that match that. And when you get that, when anybody gets that, then their need to control circumstances goes away altogether. Their fear of something that might assert itself into their experience that is unwanted goes away. Their worry that things that they do want won't come goes away. In other words, when you learn about adjusting your vibrational tuner, and you learn it by paying attention to the way you feel, then you can begin to move through this life experience in the way that you knew you would when you decided to come forth to begin with. You said, don't limit the environment for me. I'll get in there, I'll get my feet wet, I'll choose things that I adore, I'll use the guidance that comes forth from within to know how I'm vibrating, and I'll line up with an energy vibration of my source that is the embodiment of well-being, and then I will move through this time-space reality in an adventurous quest, finding all kinds of things that surprise and delight me with no need for fear or apprehension, because I trust that law of attraction will match me to that which I've chosen. Good, now we are done. But until you understand about law of attraction, which says that that which is likened to itself is drawn, just like your radio signal, when you set your tuner on your radio dial, you can receive the signal from the radio station that is on the same frequency. And this is what law of attraction is all about. It is about vibrational frequencies aligning. And so what many physical human friends don't understand is that they have control over their frequency. Sometimes you don't know you do when you look out and see something and you have that knee-jerk response to it. And sometimes we acknowledge that the knee-jerk response is not really where you meant for it to be. But with a little practice, far less practice than you might believe at first glance, you will get so that you can feel the resonance of your source flowing through you. And you will always know, not only when you are on track to the source intent that you held when you came forth into these bodies, but you will know whether you are on track to the desire that you have identified along your physical path. You are physical extensions of pure positive energy. You are literally out here on the leading edge of thought. You are deciphering leading edge contrast for the purpose of concluding new thoughts and ideas that have never been before. And when that desire is born within you, that is the asking that you speak of when you say ask and it is given. It is a wonderful environment that you've come forth within because it is so natural the way it continues to unfold. Magnificent contrast which gives you opportunity to consciously or unconsciously identify desire. And as the desire radiates from you, and we mean that in the truest sense of the word, as the desire radiates from you vibrationally, whether you speak words that match it or not, as that desire radiates, source energy hears and answers. There are 3 steps to the process. Step 1 is ask. Step 2 is answer. And step 3 is let it in. Your work is to ask, and you cannot help but do that. Source energy will answer. It always does, every time, perfectly, without exception. But the place that we see so many of you getting stuck, not meaning to, but not understanding about law of attraction, is that sometimes, even though you've asked, and even though source energy is answering, you are not letting it in. And we think that the reason that that is happening is a much simpler reason than any of you would believe. It is because you are a little bit confused. And we want to clear it up here by giving you the key, we believe, to your beginning to allow all of the things that you want. Step 1 is step 1, and step 3 is step 3. Write that down. Sounds really, really simple, we know. But we see so many of you in the middle of a contrasting experience that has you throwing fits all over the place. And in that very powerful, contrasting, emotional deluge, you are radiating desire all over the place. Rockets of desires are shooting out of you in the middle of this contrasting experience. But in the middle of that contrasting experience, you are not in the place of letting in what you are asking for. The desire shoots out of you like a rocket, but you do not go with the rocket. Usually you stay in the mess that has given birth to the rocket. An example of that would be, you go to the mailbox and you receive bills, and there are more of them than you are comfortable in paying. Either there's not enough money to pay them all, or if you do, there won't be enough money left to do the things you really want to do. And so you feel some emotion. You might feel fear, you might feel anger, you might feel frustration, you might feel blame, you might feel guilt. It doesn't matter what label of negative emotion you assign to it. You don't feel good in this situation. You feel agitated. You can feel your energy rise. You can feel your face get red maybe. You can feel that you're aggravated about something, and we're wanting you to understand that in that experience you launched rockets of desire for more money, for more sense of well-being, for more sense of stability, for more sense of letting in what you are wanting. You launched those rockets all over the place. But then, as you say, I've got to do something about getting more money because I don't have enough money, you're not in the receiving mode. As you say, that rotten employer of mine is out on a cruise and driving big fancy cars and isn't giving me nearly as much money as I deserve, you're not in the receiving mode. As you say, my neighbors next door live better than I do, and they don't seem to do anything. I see them over there all day. As I come and go, there they are, messing around, doing nothing. They're probably on some sort of welfare plan. They're probably signed up on 12 welfare plans. They're working the system, and I think it stinks. And we say, you're not in the receiving mode of letting in what you are wanting. You say, my father has so much money and he won't give it to me until I'm such and such an age. The rotten old guy. He doesn't think I can manage money, but I can if you just give it to me. You're not in the receiving mode. As you say, I can just imagine what it would feel like to be debt-free. It would be so much fun to go to the mailbox knowing that it doesn't matter what's there. All is well with me. Now you are closer to the receiving mode. Or as you change the subject altogether and think about something that does please you, you are in the receiving mode. In other words, you do not have to change your vibration completely right now relative to the subject of something that you want that has not been coming. But you cannot continue to think the thoughts that make you upset when you think them about anything that is important to you. Your guidance system is a wonderful thing because it lets you know everything that you need to know that is important to you. It lets you know vibrationally how aligned you are with your source. It lets you know vibrationally how aligned you are with the objects of your desire. It lets you know when you're not in alignment. It lets you know when you are in alignment. Your emotional guidance system tells you everything that you need to know. So often, as we visit with our friends about vibration, they really don't want to talk about it because it feels like something that they don't understand or something that they can't read. In other words, if you see a car, you can look at it pretty well and see if it's the color you like or if it's the style you like. When you hear music, you can tell if it's something that appeals to you. But most of you have not trained yourself through your emotional guidance system to consciously be aware what your emotions are telling you. And we're wanting you to begin to get in touch with the way you feel, because the way you feel is everything. The way you feel is letting you know everything about your moment in time right now, where all of your power is. And the thing that we most want you to realize that it's telling you is whether in this moment, right now, where all of your power is, are you letting in what you've been asking for? The reason that we play with you and we say step 1 is step 1 and step 3 is step 3 is because many of you have trained yourself to ask for something from this place of not having it, from this place of struggle, or from this place of yearning, or from this place even of hoping, from this place of really, really, really wanting something that isn't happening right now. And in that attitude of concern about what has not yet happened, you cannot possibly let in what you are wanting, because the vibrations are very, very different. When you are standing in this lackful place, and this lackful place has your undivided attention, you're offering a vibration only about that. And the things that you've been asking for fleetingly through those contrasting experiences where rockets shoot out of you, you usually are not matching, not right away. It takes a little bit of practice. At Thanksgiving time, Jerry and Esther's architect brought by some preliminary plans for a new house they are considering. And Jerry was very eager to see them. Esther was up to her elbows in turkeys. And Jerry took these plans and studied them and tried to imagine what it would be like to stand in the spaces. Then he took the plans over to the proposed building site, and with the help of a couple of others, put some stakes in the ground and drew some strings. And over the course of about 3 days, Jerry stood in every room, stood on every porch, looked out of every window in a sort of virtual reality world. For days, Esther hardly saw him, or he hardly saw her. Esther would say, "Come back to me, come back to me." But Jerry was concentrating on something that was coming. And in the process, walls were moved, the whole building footprint was shifted, rooms were expanded, other rooms were changed. All kinds of ideas came out of his living in this virtual world. It is what we propose for you, a sort of standing where you are and gathering the elements of what you believe would be the perfect life, and then taking those pieces to a sort of virtual reality where you be there as if you are there, which causes you to offer a vibration as if you are there, which becomes your point of attraction, which law of attraction responds to.